little knight. Leave that boy be! Name the mother! Get up!
I've got to come clean. I haven't actually seen Game of Thrones. Because honestly, what the hell is even the point, man? Why watch it when I can read it? And when I mean read it, I mean watch Alt-Shift-X videos, so I can pretend that I've read the books.
But Tyrion says it's a dumping ground for outcasts.
I get it now. So I can pretend that I'm smarter than I actually am. You know who you are. But the Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. This is honestly more my speed. This is more my style. This is my type of show.
Stop raping, sir!
Spoilers, obviously. But there is lots to love about the Knight of the Seven Kingdoms first season. The costumes, the jousting sequences, the lightheartedness of it all. Look how good that sandwich looks. The set design is very thought out and intentional for something of a much smaller scale, which is probably why everything feels so lively and lived in. The smaller budget and scale probably helped the creatives behind it think very intelligently on how to use the resources at their disposal correctly. And nothing goes to waste at all, I'll tell you that much. Like, they even built an actual puppet fire-breathing dragon for this, bro. Look at this. The dynamic between Dunk and Egg is very heartwarming, and from what I can imagine, a much more light-hearted breath of fresh air in comparison to what is shown in House of Dragon or in Game of Thrones. The fact that, at least for its first few episodes, it doesn't take itself too seriously and pokes fun of itself, and it works in favour of the show. Like when the Game of Thrones theme starts playing in the first episode, but it gets interrupted with Dunk shitting himself. He is literally shitting on the Game of Thrones theme, letting you know that this guy is kind of a dumbass and is not to be taken seriously.
I thank you, but I have matters to attend.
What matters of the edge, I've no doubt.
And no one really takes him seriously.
Fucking size of you, stupid bastard.
But when it needs to take itself seriously, you actually get to feel how important of a moment it is.
Has courage deserted the noble houses of Westeros? I will not believe in his soul!
Which leads me to the final scene of episode 4.
And there no true knight among you!
And also all of episode 5. This shit, man. This shit will feed generations. Ever seen. And I've seen a lot of good episodes, I'll tell you that much. I've seen Ozymandias. I've seen Plan and Execution. I've seen Connor's Wedding. I've seen The Suitcase. I've seen Who Goes There. I've seen the finale to The Sopranos. All of these are perfect episodes, and so is In the Name of the Mother. But to understand why it's so peak, why it works so well, and is such an effective, memorable sequence. Like all great scenes like this, you gotta go all the way back to the beginning to see how it was brilliantly set up in very subtle ways that only really become clear upon reflection of them, which is the sign of any piece of good writing. Something that will usually make you call back to previous events and situations and go, yeah, that makes sense. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms is all about what is moral. What is it to do the right thing in a world that doesn't care about good men doing what is right, but whether you are highborn or not? You see this theme regularly throughout the show, both being represented in other characters, but also the situations that Dunk falls into that set up the Trial of Seven, and come back into importance by the time episode 5 rolls around, before the Trial of Seven begins, which to the uninitiated, who by the way, if you're still watching this video and haven't seen The Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, shame on you. Go watch it and then come back. But to those who haven't seen it, who are still watching this, again, shame on you. It's a bullshit tradition in which 7 knights must go against the accuser's 7 knights, and whoever is left standing wins, which is something that Aerion goes forth with to avoid a one-on-one duel with Dunk.
That is my right, I do believe.
What the fuck is a Trial of Seven?
Who he knows will fucking demolish him. Look Look at the size of this guy, man.
Fucking size of you.
But Dunk manages to get Sir Stefan Fossaway and his cousin Raymond, who is his squire, on his side.
You shan't die under my watch, sir. I promise you that.
But last minute,
I fight with Prince Arian and the accusers.
Fossaway is bought out in favour of Arion making him a lord.
Well, our prince would not have made me a lord elsewise, but for it thwarted Sir Duncan.
He traded in his honour for a lordship.
You traded your honour for a lordship.
And Dunk, he can't even fathom that someone would go against their word. It's not even something that would even begin to cross his mind, and is clearly betrayed by it. But the look on his face, at least to me, tells me that even Dunk knows it makes sense with the benefit of hindsight. You see, the thing that makes Dunk a great protagonist is that he has a good heart and morals, but he also isn't very bright.
Everyone's always told me I was stupid.
And? What?
What?
What did he do when people said you were stupid, sir?
What business is that of yours?
It would be clear, even without the benefit of hindsight,
With the benefit of hindsight.
that this apple prick doesn't have good character.
Because you are a character doesn't mean that you have character.
He's a bully,
You're a good-for-nothing, useless rat.
and is demeaning to his squire, who, contrasted with Dunk and Egg's friendship, is almost night and day. Dunk says he will hit Egg if he misbehaves, but we all know he wouldn't even lay a finger on him.
By rights, I should beat you bloody. Send you on your way.
But Sir Stefan of Apple Prick just goes like this. Which is also what makes a kid like Egg a great companion. He's educated and smart, and often helps Dunk pick up on things that Dunk wouldn't pick up on because he's a little slow.
You're not too tall. I mean, you're just right for...
4. Puppets.
Yeah, puppets.
He's a little slow, but he got the spirit, that's for sure. It's like when Egg trains the horse Thunder, which comes in handy later on when Dunk freezes up, when the trial of 7 begins. You know, they complement each other well, in a world that shows that kindness is quite rare. Sir Stefan of Prickup easily traded his honour for fame and glory, despite going against his word, which to knights is of paramount importance. And Dunk, even when this plumber guy offers him an under-the-table bet that would make Dunk rich by having Plumber and Lord Ashford bet on Dunk being the underdog in this fixed jousting match, but he rejects it and is offended by it even.
I do not want a victory that I have not earned.
He's offended that someone would trade in their honour for a victory that they would not have earned. It's classic fantasy, but set in the backdrop of a rich world that is much more grey than black and white, which in turn makes a show like A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms more of a beacon of hope and honour than any Game of Thrones type of show. You know, it's light-hearted and fun. Then episode 5 hits, and it's just one of the most brutal medieval fights I think I've ever seen. What they were able to do with so few episodes, a smaller budget, and limited resources is just incredible. The fight is just, oh my god.
Come on!
Dunk gives this passionate speech about honour and bravery.
Who will stand and fight with me?
Then this prick shits his pants in front of everyone. It's played as a joke, but to Dunk, this is life or death for him, man.
Has courage deserted the noble houses of Westeros? I will not believe it is so!
You really do feel that raw emotion and that desperation in his voice.
And there no true knight among you!
He did the right thing, but now he's being punished for it. He literally gets punished for it, but he begs and pleads almost. But I got chills, bro. The moment hits so hard because it truly feels like we live in a world where people in positions of power do not remember their vows. I feel that anger and desperation when Dunk says,
And there no true knight among you!
So I didn't want to be the one to make it political, but, you know, art is political.
Liberal.
And its reception will always be reflected by current society and culture at the time. The same way we got all those nuclear war apocalypse movies during the Cold War. In today's world, it seems like the new subgenre of themes in media is distrust in institutions.
It's time for the lies to finally end. False promises of renewal, change.
And people in positions of power acting unlawfully and failing to commit to promises. But also the importance of good, strong, and resilient men and women who will stand up and fight for it. And everyone is rooting for Dunk because of the simple but effective reason that he is just a guy who stood up for what was right and just. Which is why during those old days when he was growing up, watching Sir Arlen,
In the name of the mother! Leave that boy be!
admittedly drunkenly saved Dunk without even thinking was so inspirational to him. No, he acted on instinct and committed to the oath. But back to the cool shit. From a filmmaking perspective, the entire sequence is just amazing. The way it switches between Dunk's POV and the helmet with the slit visor, showing how disorientated, just out of it he is after getting his head smacked. Then, with these handheld shots, just showing how out of control everything is. The way the camera follows him when he stumbles and struggles to get up, even after enduring all this damage. Makes the whole experience so immersive. So you feel every hit, every smack, every punch, every stab, the mud even. You feel it in a way that other shows don't really know how to do, and better yet, don't really know how to do with such a small budget for a show like this. The show is small in scale, but yet, because it is, it makes it feel more personal, and therefore the stakes feel larger. It's not like how previously we see these massive battles of warring factions with different ideological beliefs. Not at all to say that that is uninteresting or bad, because it isn't. I'm just saying, seeing something like this is just a little bit more refreshing. It's why the hallway fight in Daredevil hits much harder to me than something seen in Avengers Endgame. I think something that's really cool and went largely kind of unnoticed, and one of the things that just made episode 5 so fantastic is when you notice the differences in character between how Dunk fights and how Arian fights. Arian is better trained and is the more technically skilled fighter, so he does smart things like goes for quicker cuts and stabs to try and stop the Dunk. But skill is nothing when you are facing the Dunk, bro. He's fucked. It's over for him. Then Dunk cuts his balls off. At that moment, Dunk remembered what Egg told him about what Arian tried to do to his younger brother.
When I was little, Arian used to come into my bedchamber at night, put his knife in between my legs. He had too many brothers, he'd say. Maybe one night he'd make me his sister, then he could marry me.
He remembered. Sir Duncan the Tall presents himself as a noble, true knight. A knight who seems to be in a world in which knights still have status and respect, but don't truly live up to those values that they committed themselves to. So even in a moment in which technically Arian deserved death, he still let him surrender. Even when he is just one more hit from death, he still does the honourable thing. And this part gets me too, man.
My boy!
You know, Makar knows that his son is a prick,
What the fuck is a trial of 7?
but he is still his son. He fucking hates him, but he's still his son.
My boy!
And it's in that moment in which those parental instincts kick in.
Brother's mace, most like. He's strong.
It's so tragic how he even says this in episode 4.
And the Septons say we must love our brothers.
You know, Baylor didn't have to defend Dunk, but he did so anyway, because it was the honourable, morally just thing to do. He didn't deserve this, man. And it's even more tragic how he was genuinely a good man.
In their last moments, people show you who they really are.
I'll send Mr. Yormwell to have a look at him when he's done tending to my brother.
God, I just think it's so good, man. And it's so good because it's so refreshing. It's a short, sweet season that is like 3 hours total for all 6 episodes, but leaves such a memorable impact due to its effective characters and the shit they get themselves in. Then deal with the consequences of those actions with honor and bravery. Get up.
Get up!
That's all that matters.
Get up, Sir Duncan! Get up, sir! Get up!
Get up.
It's over!